is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, peace, peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I choose joy, joy, joy. I feel it, joy, joy, joy. Every day it's joy, joy, joy. I'm choosing joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace.
song on And Still I Rise, based on the Maya Angelou poem. And Irina Kurashevitz is our prac on platform this morning. Yay, Irina! And Lynn Hollyfield, our music director, will be gracing us with her music this morning. And Ivor, of course, is back on tech, doing all of the tech stuff. And we actually have like a team going back there now, which is pretty exciting. If you are here in the room with us, please go ahead and silence your cell phones. Feel free to keep them on, though, and post anything into the chat that you want. And I have some announcements for y'all. The first is that our workshop, Self-Care is Spiritual Practice, is happening today after the service at 12:30. It's going to run from about 12:30 to 3:30. That's the absolute latest that it'll go. It might end a little bit early. That is going to be here in the room in Haight Hall, but it's also going to be on Zoom. It's going to be a hybrid workshop. So if you can't make it here in person, you live too far away, you just can't get in today for whatever reason, go to our website and you'll get all of the information about how you can enter our Zoom events and come to that workshop at 12:30. Also, our annual meeting is going to be on November 14th after the service. That's a Sunday afternoon. And here we're going to be making all the decisions for 2022. Y'all know I've been talking about the committed giving program and all of that. So this is your time to have a voice in the leadership and direction of the community. So please plan on coming to that, whether or not you're a member. If you are a member, or if you want to become a member or become a voting member, I'm going to actually be talking about all of those different things and what they mean in my talk today. But please come talk to me. We're going to be having a voting Sunday, or a member Sunday, to get ready for that annual meeting on 11/14. And then finally, the most exciting news of all, Lynn Hollyfield, our music director, won a Posy Award on Friday night. Yay! For her song Because of You in the relationship category. So the Posy Awards are, positive, uplifting music, and it is put on by Empower Music and Arts every year. And so it's a huge deal in our organization and in New Thought in general to win one of these Posy Awards. We knew that we had an amazing singer-songwriter, of course, in our midst, but now we know even more. Now the whole world knows along with us. So congratulations, Lynn, on your Posy Award. That is a huge deal, and she is actually going to be opening us up with that song this morning, because I was like, well, we need to hear it. We need to hear this award-winning song. So congratulations, Lynn. That is awesome. Wonderful. Yeah. And now I would like to recite our vision together so that we're all headed, in the same direction, on the same page, in the same book, all of that. So please say our vision aloud with me. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And yes, we are indeed. And so now I would like to invite Lynn up if you want to tell us anything about this song. Like I said, this is her Posy Award-winning tune, Because of You.
All right, thank you so much. I wrote this song. I always think of it as a song of gratitude, of like people who have supported me in the music, but when other people hear the song, they sometimes think of it as a love song. I've sang it at weddings, and I think of it as a song of gratitude. And I am just so honored to have. I'm just amazed still. So anyway, I'd like to share this song with you. And it's called "Because of You." morning star has set. Choices to be made, but haven't yet. There's a shelf to rest your fear. You said, close the door, doubt when it's near. With you, here I am. With you, here I stand. You made this real, and I'm here because of you. Because of you. Trust visits in my sleep. Like the wind, it lifts me into belief. The guides coax me round the bend. And then I see you standing there, my friend. With you, here I am. With you, here I stand. You made this real, and I'm here because of you. I'm here because of you. Unexpectedly, your gift unwrapped the waiting. When you saw in me possibility. Gratitude does a crazy thing. It always makes me cry, so I think I'll sing to all of you who played a part. You brought me here, I hold you in my heart. And with you, here I am, with a humble heart. Here I stand. You made this real, and I'm here because of you. I'm here because of you. I'm here with you.
Wonderful to have Lynn here. And it's always like a singing prayer, right? Every song. Thank you, Lynn. Good morning. Reverend Chris has introduced me already. My name is Irina Kurashevich, and I'm a practitioner today. And I would like to, first of all, welcome new people. If you feel new, or if you feel like you haven't been here for a while, just raise your hand and let us know who you are. And if you're watching us online for the first time, we would love to know who you are, and just please give us a comment. on our stream. And even if you will be watching it later in the day or in a week, so please still give us your name, your comment, or just, let us know who you are and where are you from if you feel comfortable. Practitioners are here to pray. According to Ernest Holmes, everyone who practicing science of mind is a practitioner. There are licensed practitioners in the centers, but still it is our job as science of mind practitioners to pray. And every thought is a prayer according to science of mind. Licensed practitioners are here for the community to pray with the members, with the friends, with just the community. And sometimes when we see that the police or ambulance is passing by, we just go into that moment of prayer and affirm that this is all God and all good. We do it because this philosophy, science of mind, is based on the conviction that prayer works, and we definitely do believe that. With that, I invite you to fill in the cards. You see, I still remember the cards. We used to have the green cards. We don't do that anymore. We have them here. Yeah, we have them here. So if you're here, you can fill in the green card. Or you can send us your prayer request through our website. Or you can email it at the email prayer@celebrationcenter.org. And practitioners will be praying with you about the situation you feel you're in for the whole week. You always can contact a practitioner and have a prac session or a prayer over the phone or in person. So today in the morning, I looked at this book, this thing called You, by Ernest Holmes, the founder of our philosophy. It's interesting how Ernest Holmes was writing differently. If you open his Science of Mind, it's a very dry, for me at least, that's how it feels. And this thing called You is a very poetic book. And I just opened it and I liked this passage. It is important that you maintain a strict censorship over your thinking. Just as you watch your garden, that foreign seeds shall not fall into it, producing a growth of undesirable plants, so you must refuse entrance to any thoughts you do not wish to see manifested in your life. Guard well this garden of your mind. It is God's garden of your soul. It is your garden of Eden, where may grow your fondest desires and hopes, blossoming into fulfillment. Or, if you permit, the weeds of destruction, fear, and doubt will choke out the beauty of hope until despair alone remains. Watch carefully then this garden of your soul. Plant there only seeds of happiness, of joy, of peace, and of goodwill. Plant love in your garden. Kindness and sympathy flow from the heart of love, and human goodness follows divine realization at every turn in life's road. Kindness and understanding are divine flames, lighted from the altar of love upon which burns the light eternal. Go often to your garden. Sitting under the tree of life in cool, quiet communion, you will find fresh inspiration. God itself will go forth anew into creation through you. And let's pray. And I invite you all to take a moment, this moment of silence. And bring your heart and your soul into that Garden of Eden within. Take a breath and just let it be. And I know that God is. There is nothing else but God. God is all there is. There is no separation between God and anything in this universe and beyond. And I know that God is so much more that I can understand. And I'm grateful. As I am one and inseparable from the divine, knowing that God is all I understand, that I am perfect, whole, and complete in God. perfect expression of the divine. And recognizing my oneness, I affirm oneness for everyone in this room and everyone who's watching us. I know that everyone here is perfect expression of the divine, unique, beloved expression of the divine, like a seed of joy and happiness and harmony. And that's what everyone is. And I declare perfect relationship, love, as Lynn was singing. As we know that relationship is God dealing with God. I declare perfect employment, abundant, prosperous compensation, and the ability to use talents and skills easily and effortlessly to express the divine power. I declare perfect and radiant health, knowing wholeness, oneness, joy, harmony of body and spirit. I declare joy. I declare abundance. As there is only one source, and that source is abundance and prosperity itself. And I know that all the prayer requests that has been written, thought, or just going to be, I know that each and every prayer request is already heard and answered in perfect mind of God. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to speak the word of truth. I'm so grateful for knowing that this philosophy exists and it is available for everyone. I'm so grateful to know that I am the guardian of my thoughts. And this is my garden and everyone's garden. And I know that it is beautiful. It is beautiful and joyful. I know that happiness lives in each and every soul. And I'm so grateful. And from this deep, deep gratitude, I let it be. I simply release my words into the law as it is my job to let it go. And I do it with joy and gratitude. And this is so. And so it is.
Okay, I'm going to do a tune called Rise Up by Andra Day. You're broken down and tired, living life on a merry-go-round, but you can't find the fighter. I can see it in you. We're gonna walk it out. Move mountains. We're gonna walk it out. Move mountains. And we'll rise up. Rise like the day and I'll rise up. Rise unafraid and I'll rise up. And do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, and I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, and I'll rise up, and do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, I know you feel like dying, but I promise you I'll take the world to its feet and move mountains. Bring the world to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like the day, and I'll rise up, rise unafraid, and I'll rise up and do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope. And for that we have each other. And for that we have each other. We will rise up. We will rise up. And we'll rise up. Rise like the day, and I'll rise up. Rise unafraid, and I'll rise up and do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up high like the waves, and I'll rise up in spite of the ache, and I'll rise up and do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. Rise up, I'll rise up, I'll rise up for you.
Thank you so much, Lynn. That song is one of my favorite songs, and then you do it beautifully, of course. So, hello everyone. There's more people here now. Oh my goodness, I have lost my notes. Y'all know I'm really good at that. So we are continuing our committed giving program this week. And if you remember, Ivor, if you'll pull out the overview for me, that would be great. If you remember 2 weeks ago, we talked about spiritual enrichment and all of the ways, or maybe not all of the ways, but a lot of the ways that this center spiritually enriches each of us, both individually and collectively together. And then the question that I asked at the end of the service for our Tell Us was, what does spiritual enrichment look like to you? So spoiler alert, the question that I'm going to be asking you in about 20 minutes is, what does center growth look like to you, if you want to start thinking about that? And so this week, we are talking about center growth. This is one of the 4 areas that we are going to be focusing on in 2022 as our vision. And if you remember, our vision is celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. And we, the Leadership Council, feel that growing the center is one of the primary areas of focus in which we can know that greater vision. And it was so interesting because as I was lining everything up, and we're following the global themes of our parent organization, Centers for Spiritual Living, and as I was looking at all of this and lining it up, I said, center growth would be really perfect on the week called "And Still I Rise." And this week is all focused on the obstacle as being a part of the way, not a distraction from the way, and the importance of these obstacles in our journey and in our path. And as I look at Celebration Center and I look at our history, you can take that down now, Ivor. As I look at our history and some of the challenges that this community has faced as a community, I was like, oh, well, isn't this the perfect talk title to talk about our center growth and where we're headed. So, as you may or may not know, a lot of you do if you've been here for a long time, but 15-ish years ago, we were about 150 to 200 members. Is that people who have been here for a long time? Yes, yes. So 15 years ago, we were about 200 members, and now we are down to about 30-ish members. We're a little iffy on those numbers because of the pandemic and not being in person and having so many people online and all of that. And so we're working on kind of nailing down who is a member and all of that. But, as you can see, center growth hasn't really looked like growth in the last 15 years for this community. And most of y'all know that when I first came into the center at the beginning of January, one of the things that I did is I sat down with every single person who has been attending the center regularly in any sort of way or capacity. And I'm still doing this because there are people that I haven't done this with that have fallen through the cracks. So if you haven't talked to me, come talk to me. But I did these community conversations, and I asked a bunch of questions. And one of the questions I asked was, what do you wish was different about Celebration Center? And literally every single one of you, without fail, said, I wish we were bigger. I remember when we used to be big, especially the people who had been here for a long time. I remember when we were big. I miss the larger community. Every single person. I want to do what it takes to grow our center. And so I know that this idea of center growth is important to this community. I know that it is because y'all have told me time and time and time again. And so I was thinking this week, and I was thinking about this idea of "And Still I Rise" in conjunction with this idea of center growth, and I thought, well, what if all of that, everything that happened in this thing that looks like a decline in attendance, was really a part of our growth? What if really this thing that looks like not growth was actually growth? And then how would that work? And I just I was sitting with that, and I was musing in that a little bit. In ministerial school, we learned about the 4 stages of community. By M. Scott Peck. You can look this up online. It's kind of all over the place, the 4 stages of community. And he says the 4 stages are pseudo-community, chaos, emptiness, and then true community. And y'all have heard me use this term true community before. And I've said, I say beloved community and all of these things. But it's really interesting when you're looking at what these various stages of community are. They're, chaos. Well, that doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun, does it? Emptiness. What in the world, right? But what he says is when a community first comes together, what they actually are is a pseudo-community. And so the essential dynamic of a pseudo-community is conflict avoidance. And so everybody shows up in their best Sunday attire with their best, happiest, smiling face on, and they are very pleasant with each other, and we drink our coffee. We say, oh, that was the best talk I've ever heard, even though we hated it, and we minimize all of our differences, and we come together and we have this kind of community, and we enjoy ourselves, and there's laughter and there's fun. But, if something goes wrong in my life, that's not the first community that I reach out to, right? Because they don't actually know me. They only know that sort of masked version of me that I've put out there. And so that's what every community starts out as. And a lot of communities stay there, a lot. But then, if you're in community for any length of time, what comes next is chaos. And what chaos is when people can no longer keep that mask up. And all of a sudden there's conflict and there's differences and people have ideas that are different from each other. And at first, the group tends to attempt to obliterate those differences and oust and separate, and there's usually some conflict and fighting, and it's not pretty, and it's not fun. And it's common for people to attack not only like each other, but the leadership, and the leadership to attack them. It's messy. It's really messy. And what's really beautiful about this time of chaos is that it's necessary. It's necessary to get to true community. We can't only have the pretty, happy, perfect me showing and have a true community. Those two things are incongruent with each other, because the reality is that we are whole people, and we have messiness, and we have feelings that aren't positive feelings all the time. It's just part of being human. And so if we're unwilling to ever let those show and to ever come up and bump up against each other, then we can never get to a place where we're showing up as a true community. And so as long as the community is able to hold this long-term goal of, oh my God, this looks like chaos, but I know we're headed somewhere beautiful, as long as the community can hold that, then they will move through. And indeed, celebration has. And when I look at some of the things that have happened over the years, I go, wow, they are still here. Like, this community really wants to be a community. It is so abundantly obvious and clear. And then the next phase is emptiness. And so what M. Scott Peck says about emptiness is, he says, the way through chaos to true community is via emptiness. And it is the hardest and most crucial stage of community development. And so what it is it's members emptying themselves of all of the barriers and all of the unwillingness to communicate, and all of the preconceptions and prejudices and biases and miscommunications and expectations and ideologies and theologies and all of that. And instead, they sit in this stage of just being wholeheartedly whatever, wholeheartedly messy, and just sitting with one another, not trying to fix it or heal it or judge it or make it right or make it wrong or anything like that, but just being together. And only when we are able to just sit in that vulnerability of emptiness with each other that we can move into true community. And in true community, we embrace not only our own light, but our darkness as well. And all of a sudden, we're fully in balance and in congruence. And all of a sudden, when something goes wrong in my life, my community is the first people I call, because I know that y'all know me. And I know that I can count on you. And I know that you'll be here for me. And the same is true for all of y'all, that the first thing you do is you call your community. Because this is a true community. This is a beloved community. And so I look, and these stages, that's not, okay, you did this from 1985 to 1992, and then you did this it's not like that, unfortunately. It's this kind of ever evolving. But once you can hit that true community in any sort of aspect, then it becomes much easier to kind of shift around. And yeah, you know what? We're going to have moments of chaos. And yeah, we're going to have to sit in the emptiness. But at the heart of it, we are a true community. And so as I was looking at, candidating for the center, I was like, oh, they've got it. Like, they've been through the fire. Like, they've got it together. Not y'all have got it together. You do have it together. But just y'all are together. This is a community that wants to be a community. And y'all have had the challenges and the obstacles come up, And because of that, I know that the journey has been such that you've reached this destination of true community. And so then what I can know is that no matter what happens, because introducing me into the mix is going to bring up all sorts of like chaos, and we have to do the whole process again, right? Because I like messed up all the dynamics of everything by coming in and having my own way of doing things. But what I know is that we're all willing to stick it out together. I know that we can do it. And so when I thought about this idea of center growth, I was like, well, yeah, and still I rise. Like despite all of that, not even despite all of that, but because of all of that, and still Celebration Center has risen time and time and time and time again. And as I've seen over just these last few months that I've been here, y'all truly are here for one another, and you're truly here for me in a way that is so profound to me, and so important, and so beautiful. And so I'm like, yeah, like we're in it for the long haul together, and it makes me really excited. It gets me excited to see what's going to happen, and it gets me excited to see how we're going to grow and what's next, because this period of growth that has looked like maybe a declining, it's actually been this period of internal growth and this period of like turning the soil and, putting the compost out and all of that. And we are just poised to expand and grow. And we're going to do that not only geographically in our region in this DC metro area, but globally now that we're online. And so that's where we're headed in 2022, is this idea of rising because of the obstacles that we have faced. Glennon Doyle, who wrote Untamed, she is awesome. She's on a bunch of podcasts and stuff like that, but she wrote the book Untamed. She says, there is no resurrection without the crucifixion first. All of our problems, I don't know about all, but she says, all of our problems come from trying to rise before we surrender to our own crucifixion. And to me, this idea of surrendering to our own crucifixion, the pre-rising, is that emptiness phase of a community. It is that willingness to just sit in what is without trying to fix it or make it better or different or judge it in some way. And so, as we're talking about this idea of center growth, I told y'all that I was going to get into membership a little bit. So so we're going to get a little heady for just a second here. So we have here at Celebration Center, we have attenders, people that just come to the center in whatever way. Maybe you're here all the time. Maybe you show up every once in a while. Maybe you come on Sunday mornings. Maybe you come to one of our many weekly activities throughout the week. Whatever it may be, we have people that are just showing up and attending our events. And then we have people who are members. So these are people who have taken a foundation level class, and you have stood in front of the congregation and said, like, yes, I'm going to be a member. And we haven't done that in a really long time, so there's probably many people who want to be members, but we haven't had a member Sunday. So we're going to have one of those coming up in October. I will give y'all the date soon, where people can become members. And the only thing to be a member is to have taken some sort of foundational class. So if you have not taken a foundational class and you want to be a member, come talk to me, because I will sit down with you one-on-one and I will teach you the foundations of science of mind if that's what we need to do so that you can be a member of this community. And that is true online also. Even if you live far away, if you want to be a member of this community, we can make that work, okay? And then we have voting members. So I was talking about the annual meeting coming up in November. And voting members are people who not only are members, so you've taken a foundational level class of some sort, you've stood up in front of the community and said, like, yes, I'm a member, but you've also committed to giving to this center through the Committed Giving program. And so it becomes this reciprocal, you cannot outgive the universe. So it's the center giving to you and you giving to the center in this reciprocal, beautiful balance. And it also means that you have I wrote it down because it's all a little confusing, filled out an application. Each year we have applications for people who meet those 3 requirements. You're a member, you've taken a foundation level class, and you are part of our committed giving program. And then you fill out an application to be a voting member, and you vote at our annual meeting. So that is also all going to be, this is all new to me, y'all, so we are just all, with the help of Terry, mostly the leadership council, and then Terry is like stepping in hardcore. We are working all of this out. So what is really beautiful is that there's, Ivor, will you pull up the circle one? Yes, that. So what's really cool about membership and about spiritual communities. So this outward circle right here, this receivership, that is the attenders, right? That is people who are just showing up and receiving from the center. And then there's membership, and then ownership is the voting members. And then there's one more kind of inner step of being a leadership council member, or being a head of a service circle once we get there, or being me. I'm kind of in that inner circle too, you know? And so what's really beautiful about this is there's this kind of natural flow. You can take it down now, Ivor. This natural flow from the outer to the inner. And it kind of, as the community gives more to you, it kind of naturally happens that you want to give more to the community. And then as you give more to the community, more people see what the community is up to and want to come in, right? And it's this beautiful like flow inward and evolution and spiral and all of this. And so that is what we are growing and cultivating, is this center growth where the people that are here are stepping ever into greater and greater ownership of Celebration Center. And we're bringing in new people who can receive all of the offerings that we have to give. And meanwhile, we are still receiving from the center as well. So, back to this idea of rising. Y'all have heard of butterflies, right? Have y'all heard of imaginal cells in butterflies? Raise your hand if you have. Really? Oh my goodness. Okay, this is exciting. So butterflies start out as caterpillars, right? And then they enter a chrysalis, and then they emerge like 2 weeks later, and they're butterflies. Well, butterflies and caterpillars have nothing in common with one another. And we tend to look at them and we say, oh yeah, like there's the caterpillar body with just wings now, but that's not actually the way that it happens. When they go into the chrysalis, their body completely dissolves into goo. They become goo. And then these things called imaginal cells are what trigger this goo process. And these imaginal cells are what knows how to become a butterfly. And what's really interesting about the imaginal cells is that they start out working individually, and the caterpillar's body doesn't actually know what they are, and so the immune system of the caterpillar attacks the imaginal cells at first, until finally enough of them come and grow and build up that it overtakes, and this goo process happens, and then a couple of weeks later, Ivor's just enjoying the fact that I keep saying the word goo, a couple of weeks later, this butterfly emerges. And so when I think about, and still I rise, and the idea that this obstacle is actually part of the path, I think about being goo. And sometimes I'm like, wow, I'm just a little bit gooey today. Like sometimes I'm just really in the process of becoming a butterfly from becoming a caterpillar. And we just have to stick it out a little bit longer. And then what's really interesting about it is it doesn't stop there. So we have these imaginal cells. The butterfly becomes a butterfly. It's still in the chrysalis. And the process of coming out of the chrysalis is called eclosion, Eclosion. And we think that we would want to make it easier for the butterfly to emerge, right? So we'd want to like help it open its little chrysalis so that it could just come out. And no, actually that process of fighting its way out of the chrysalis is what the butterfly needs. It is critical for the development and freedom of the butterfly. And what scientists have discovered is that when we help them, when we remove the chrysalis for them, they will never fly. Because there are, oh, I didn't write this word down, sorry y'all. There are other processes that start, and the fluid is all in their body, and when they push themselves through the chrysalis, that is what forces the fluid out into their wings and makes their wings grow so that they can fly. And so the process, we use this idea of butterflies for metamorphosis and change because they're just so beautiful, and they started as caterpillars, but we don't like to look at the fact that first they had to become goo, and then once they finished becoming goo, then they had to force their way out of this chrysalis, and it was really hard, and then they had to do all of this work to make their wings big enough to fly. So there was all of this process involved. And I think sometimes we like to just jump from okay, well, I was a caterpillar yesterday, but now I'm a beautiful butterfly with no process in between. But that's not the way it works. We have to go through this process. And we go through it individually over and over. I have been gooed time and time again in my life, over and over again. And I have had to force my way out of my chrysalis time and time again. This hero's journey, right? And we do that individually, and we do it collectively. And so this center has gooed several times, and we have fought our way out of the chrysalis. And now, in so many ways, we are this butterfly, and we are continuing to grow and to blossom. I know it's a little bit of a mixed metaphor, but that's okay. Just go with me, And I'm just so excited to see when we're looking at all of the things that we've been through in every single moment, and all of the accomplishments, and all of the messes, and all of the oh my God, what the F is this, and all of that in its totality, and we become these whole people together. I'm so excited to see coming together as whole people into this beautiful, beloved community, what is next for us. And so, my question for you today, I know y'all were expecting it, is what does center growth look like to you? So as we're moving into 2022, and I'm going to take these times, I just forgot the name of this. What do I call this? I have no idea. All I can think is truth be told, but that's not it. What is it? Tell us. Thank you, Arena. I'm going to go back and listen to these. I knew it was a T. I'm going to go back and listen to these different tell us's where y'all tell us what your vision is for this community in 2022 in these various areas, so that we can be sure that we're implementing them, so that we can be sure that ownership in this community is easy and joyful and fun for everyone. So, what does center growth look like and feel like and mean to you? You can feel free to come up, feel free to leave your mask on. Ivor, I'm going to switch to the other microphone. So leave your mask on and feel free to come up. And if you are online, this is an important question for you too. So please put it in the chat. What does center growth mean to you? And we will show it and read it on the screen. Lynn?
Yeah, I mean, I think of this community as just, I think of how we all support each other, but I also see us like reaching out into the community in a service manner, whatever shape or form that might take. But I see that as part of our growth and helping us get to know our neighbors in this area and, all around. So.
Thank you, Lynn. And that we actually have a whole area of the tree dedicated to community outreach. And you're right, these two things are integrally tied together, that we need to be getting to know our local community so that we can support them in knowing that we're here. Who else? What does center growth mean to you? Anyone online, Ivor? Yes, Brent. Brent Mast does our drumming, our drum circle.
One thing I would like to see is more young people, because I'm 54 and I'm one of the younger people I see here. So, we can't sustain ourselves if we aren't attracting, more people in general, but especially more young people that have energy and bring new ideas. And, attendance at the drum circle is very low, which is concerning me. And I'm sure, there are a lot of people out there that I see people at other drum circles that are young people having, enjoying themselves. So I think attracting young people would be a very important goal.
Thank you, Brent. As a young people, I agree that I would like more young people here. And we're talking about also one of the areas of center growth is going to be looking at our youth and family program and what we need to make sure that that is ready and available for when we do start attracting teens and children, that we have these programs already in place and already set so that when a child walks through the door, we have a place for them to go and somebody to hang out with them and curriculum for them to utilize and things like that. So thank you, Brent. What else? What does center growth mean to you? I can feel people thinking, so. Anyone else? Anyone online, Ivor? Will you put it up if you just click on the comment? So Tim says, we need to find ways to be of greatest service to each other and the community. Yes, absolutely, Tim. And it's good to see you online. I'm glad you're here. And he is under Suzanne's name, honoring her today. Oh, and Jen Fay says, center growth and vision for 2022, vibrant energy, for we are excited to be together, sharing the spiritual journey with each other and out in the world. Yes. Brenda Shire, who is watching the service via YouTube, visibility. Yes, I know, Brenda, you are big on visibility, and we are in the process of joining the Falls Church Chamber of Commerce also. Anyone else? Awesome. Okay, anybody else? Speak now or forever hold your peace, but not really. You can always email me at revchris@celebrationcenter.org and tell me all of your thoughts on center growth. Anyone else? Well, in that case, Derek L. says, Janine says, center growth looks like supporting each other in times of need and also caring enough about each other to reach out just to say hi. Also, more people of all ages. Yes. Yes, and I think that's something that I really love here is that I've gotten some just saying hi texts and phone calls from community members, and it means a lot to me when I know that people are thinking about me and reach out. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well, I'm going to go into prayer, and if somebody pops up, wave at me, Ivor, out after I finish praying, okay? So I just invite you, if you are able and in a place where you can, just go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath. And what I know is that there is only the one thing going on, this one infinite, absolute, eternal thing. This one thing that is all. It is all life. It is all expression. It is growth and showing up. It is love and light. It is abundance and prosperity. It is joy and bliss. It is holding one another. It is being together. It is the wholeness and the fullness and the wholeheartedness and the messiness and the goo, all of it wrapped up into this one infinite thing that is so much more than anything we could possibly fathom, anything that we could possibly know. And so I just breathe into the knowing of the truth of this oneness, this awareness, knowing and affirming that because there is only this one thing going on, that each and every one of us is that one infinite, absolute, eternal presence showing up as God's greatest idea, greatest vision for humanity in this moment. Everyone who hears my voice is God's stuff. Everyone who doesn't hear my voice is God's stuff, because that is the only stuff that there is to be made from and to be showing up as in every moment. And so I just know and affirm that this center is growing and vital. It is energized and alive. It is successful and fruitful. That we are truly growing and stepping up and showing up as a center, as a community, and individually out into the world in greater and greater ways. That there is a vitality and an energy, that there are more people showing up and knowing this name of Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and that we have the opportunities and the joy to fulfill this ownership of our spiritual community in new and brighter and more amazing ways. And that each of us are continuing to rise up. That each of us are knowing the truth of our own divinity, and that we are able to see the path and all of the obstacles on it as truly part of the journey, integral pieces of every single moment that has led us to this now moment that is right on time, divinely perfect, divinely guided in every single way. And I am so grateful for this community. I am grateful for the way that we continue to show up together. I am grateful for all of the goo and the chrysalis that has led to this butterfly moment. I am grateful for every single individual who is a part of Celebration Center in any way, who has ever been a part, who will ever be a part of Celebration Center. And so I simply release my word, I let it go, I know it is done as I have spoken, and so I can just surrender and have faith and trust that it is all unfolding in divine perfection as we say together, and so it is. Now Lynn has another song for us.
As we are on this journey of growing as a community, this song, I think, kind of says it all. It's Love is on Our Side by Tish Inahosa. Show me someone helping out a friend. Show me a broken man standing up again. Show me a smile in ancient times. I'll say love is on our side. See the little baby in her mother's arms. Daddy wants a shelter, keeping her from harm. When the storm gets closer, we realize that love is on our side. We're all on that train, what you see. Listen to the dreamers. Sounds like you and me. See the working hands join to rise, and see love is on our side. To mend with all that's been given us. There's a message we can send beyond the headlines. The answer lies. We have love on our side. We've got love on our side.
Thank you so much, Lynn. So this is the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings. So if you have a gift, there's several different ways that you can give that to us. If you go to our website, celebrationcenter.org, you can click on the Give button. It is going to take you to our secure website through Breeze Management, Church Management. You also, if you're here in the room, you can give into the baskets, or you can go to celebrationcenter.org/donate to find our address and other ways to give as well. So please know that all that you bring to this center is a gift to us. Your mere presence is a gift to this community, and you bring and add something to us just by showing up here. Whether you're showing up online or you're showing up physically in the room, your presence is a gift. And so I invite you to just bring all of the metaphorical gifts into your heart, and let us say our offertory affirmation together aloud. I open my heart to give and receive the blessings that our spirits promise to me. And as I do, the entire universe conspires to give me an abundant life, and I open to accept it. And so it is.
Thank you for this day, Spirit.
Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for this day.
And I join Lynn in gratitude, knowing abundance and prosperity for the Celebration Center, for each and everyone who is here. As there is only one source, that source is abundance itself, it's prosperity itself. And whenever we give, we receive. As it is one law of circulation. And I know that the finances, the service, the love of those who give expand. It expands and come back to the giver, multiplied abundantly in so many different shapes and forms, starting with the smiles and joy and harmony and peace. And that ability to understand who each of us really is. And I'm so grateful knowing that the Celebration Center is a place of prosperity and abundance and joy. And this is so, and so it is.
I'm going to do this song by Faith Rivera called Stand Together. Something great is happening, love has taken hold and it won't let go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion, we're drops in one ocean, roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live the dream of your highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. We're the moment of our greatness, let's stand together now. Oh, 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 hey, hey, hey. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind. Will rise up with me today? Lift my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we are waiting for. Live the dreams of your highest calling, be a hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together. Share the gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment of our greatness, let's stand together now. Oh, 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 yeah. Let's stand together now. Oh, 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 hey. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world. Live the dream of your highest calling, be a hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment of our greatness, let's stand together now. Oh, 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 hey, let's stand together now. Oh, 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 hey, let's stand together now.
And so I just send us out into the world to be our beautiful, gooey, whole, complete, rising selves in every single moment. And so it is.